Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're going to be doing a little Q&A. It feels like I haven't just sat down and chatted with you in a while, so I went to Instagram and asked my followers for some questions that they had, so we'll just be going through those today. I didn't ask for a specific set of questions, so there's no theme to this Q&A. It's just whatever people have been wondering about. And I'm actually not going to be doing my makeup throughout this Q&A because it's really hard sometimes to do makeup and talk at the same time, but I did film this look, so if you want a tutorial on this look, it'll come out after this video, so keep an eye out for it. And with that said, I guess we can just jump right into the questions. First question, what is your favorite makeup style? Soft and sultry or bold colors? I like a good mix of both, but I do think I lean a little bit more towards the soft and sultry. I think that's more of my everyday style and more fitting for my personality, but I do love wearing the occasional bright, bold color, graphic liner, mixing it up, whatever it is. It does take a little bit more work to play up the bold colors and looks, but I think they're really fun to experiment with. How are you? Which is a really nice question. I am doing pretty good, I want to say. I actually sat down and tried to refilm this intro many times, so I'm a little like but I'm doing pretty good. I think it's just the same as always, trying to get my life together, trying to get my shit together, like trying to see the good in everything. So yeah, I think I'm doing pretty good. Do you prefer in real life dating or dating apps? And first date tips. There's also your opinion on dating apps. I'm probably the worst person to ask for dating advice because I hate dating. Going on dates is awful for me. I haven't seriously dated someone in such a long time. Yeah, I might not be the best person to ask. In terms of in real life or online dating, I definitely prefer in real life dating. I would love to meet someone in person rather than on an app. I think I'm more traditional in that sense, and not to like knock down dating apps or anything like that. I have a lot of friends who found their significant others through dating apps, who use dating apps. It's just for me, I feel a bit weird about it. I don't know what it is. I just prefer more organic ways of meeting people, but I know that's in this day and age, it's kind of not the norm anymore, I guess. I'm on one app and I've been on several like online dates and they've all been like not that great. So yeah. If I were to give advice for first dates or just dates in general, it would be to be yourself as much as you can. I know that's really hard, but I think that is just super important, because if you're trying to be someone else, your true self comes out eventually, and they might not like your true self, and wouldn't you want to know that sooner rather than later? So neither of you are wasting that time. I would rather be disliked for being who I am than be liked for someone I'm not. So I try my best to be as honest and open about who I am as possible on the first date. Easier said than done for sure, but that is kind of my biggest advice, is just be yourself. How does it feel to have your own space? It feels amazing. This is the first time I've truly had an entire like home for myself, and it is so liberating and freeing and just allows myself to be who I am without judgment, because no one else is here. If I don't want to clean up a mess because I'm tired, I don't have to. If I want to leave something in this corner over that corner, I can do that. It's just nice to have a working space and a resting space that is truly my own, and it's been great and I love it, and I'm so glad that I made the jump because it has been completely worth it. I really needed this space for myself. Do you feel like you're in a creative rut? When I read this question, I was low-key like triggered, because I was like, how do they know? Can they tell? Is it that obvious? I have been feeling like I've been stuck in a creative rut for like a few months now, but I also feel like I haven't been. It's been a really weird limbo transition in between state. I don't really know. Around this time last year, I was experimenting more with makeup and trying to do more makeup videos, beauty tutorials, and I felt my confidence build in that, and I reached a point where like, oh my god, I can do makeup. Like, people ask me to do their makeup, which is insane, and I never felt that confident in my abilities to do that, let alone do makeup on my own face. And makeup is so much fun. It's still super challenging to me, but now I really miss doing fashion videos, doing lookbooks, and doing really fun, cool edits. I really miss that part of my YouTube channel, which is kind of what I started doing to begin with. And I've just been stuck creatively in that area, I think. I just haven't been very inspired or motivated in terms of my own style, and I'm slowly getting back into it. I feel myself like being inspired by things again, and it's been really fun, but now I just got to get into the lookbook mode. I think I want to challenge myself in that area again, because I really do miss that content on my channel, and I get a lot of comments about that also from you guys. So I'm slowly trying to find my way back and trying to figure out how I want to do fashion videos moving forward, because I know the fashion space has changed quite a bit since when I started. It was more aesthetic and more about visuals, but now I feel like people want more talking, educational, things like that. So I'm just kind of thinking about how I want to go about it. How do you stay positive and motivated on doing the stuff that you love? So this kind of ties into the previous question. You just have to do it. You have to push yourself to just do it and take little steps to get you there. I think you just have to be proactive about doing it. So like for example, when I realized I didn't have inspo for fashion, I would go on Pinterest and look up outfits, look up people's styles that I really liked and what kind of style I like, and just kind of doing research. And now the next step is kind of me going out and finding those pieces. So it's just about like being proactive about it and not letting yourself just be stuck in your rut and not doing anything to get out of it. I think it's just about doing the little things, and then eventually they add up and you'll find your motivation again. At least that's how I feel. Just taking it a step at a time, breaking it down, writing things down that you want to do, need to do, should do, and see what feels right for you. So I think that's how I've kind of approached finding motivation and finding inspiration around the things that I love, because I still love fashion, I still love makeup, and it's all about keeping my brain churning so that it still intrigues me. So the same person asked me a few questions that are along the same themes, so I'll just group them together and tackle it all at once. Thoughts on minimalism? Are you interested in ethical/sustainable fashion? And have you ever considered less/zero waste? The environment is really important to me, and planet Earth is really important to me, and I do the best that I can to minimize my footprint, my impact on the planet. It is very difficult though, and I'm trying to unlearn a lot of my habits. Like for instance, minimalism, that's a really hard thing for me to live by because of my old habits. Like my parents were hoarders, they collect things, they just have a lot of stuff, and that's kind of trickled down to me. And so my default is to save and keep everything in case I need it in the future, or in case my parents want it for the future. So that is a little bit harder. For ethical and sustainable fashion, I would love to get to a point where all my choices are ethical and sustainable, but I'm not there yet. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with my financial status and just not prioritizing it. I think I have a lot of other goals and other things I want to focus on, and I know learning about ethical, sustainable brands and the process and all of that is a lot of research, and I want to be fully educated in it, but it's just honestly not a priority for me right now. Like, I'm not trying to make an excuse. I just want to focus on making sure that I have stability and that I'm okay in my life in order for me to move on to that. And it's just something that I'm just not ready for in my life. Like, I'm trying to make more conscious choices slowly and at my own pace. So that is something that I do think about often, especially being in this space. And I want to be a good example for you guys, but I'm just not there yet. And it's also the same for less/zero waste. I try my best to minimize. There are definitely things that I can do better, but again, like everything on my own time. I never try to force anyone to do that when they're not ready to, and I just want people to do the same for me. Like, I think there are ways to go about it that aren't as forceful. So that's kind of where I'm at with those topics, those themes, and I hope you guys can understand. I feel like it's a little bit controversial sometimes, but that's just where I'm coming from. What do all your tattoos mean? I actually have a video that I uploaded a while ago about the meanings behind my tattoos, so I'll link it in the info card somewhere. At the time, I only had 4 tattoos. I think now I have 7. I think I have 7. So I'll talk a little bit more about my newer ones. So I got this one. It's J316 on my wrist. And I got this after a Bible verse, probably off of the most famous verse in the Bible, but it also has another meaning. It's my brother's initial, first initial, and my sister's birthday. I was looking for a Bible verse that really resonated with me, but I couldn't find one for the longest time. Then I realized this verse had a double meaning with my siblings, so I decided to get that. And then I got this lightning bolt next to my collarbone just for the hell of it. I just thought, why not? Like, I think lightning is really freaking cool and beautiful and majestic, and I love how powerful it shows nature can be. And so I just got a lightning bolt on my collarbone, and I think I get really self-conscious. I get really self-conscious of my collarbone, so I was like, let's just slap it on there. Whatever. And then this was definitely more of just for funsies kind of tattoo. And then the one I got after that is this one on my finger. Initially, I got it because I wanted the Roman numeral 9. It's one of my favorite numbers. It's all throughout my birthday, and I was trying to think of where I wanted to put it, and I wanted to put it on my finger, but then I wasn't sure about how placement would work because, you know, Roman numerals can be read either way. And then I realized if I flipped it around, it also reads as number 11. And in numerology, if you believe in that, I am the number 11. And when I was reading the profile, it really resonated with me, and it taught me a lot about myself and how I am and why I am the way that I am. And I also see the number 11 very often. So I just thought, cool, it has another double meaning, and so I got that. Someone also asked, what's your Myers-Briggs personality type? The last time I took the test, I was an INFP. I think I'm very much an INFP. How do you know when a friendship isn't worth it? Hannah and I actually did a friendship Q&A not too long ago, so I'm gonna link that in the info card as well if you guys wanna check it out. But we talked about this topic in more detail and other friendship topics too. I thought about this question more also. I think it's when you can no longer see them in your life. Whether it be next week, next month, or 5 years from now, however way you imagine it or envision it, if you can't see them being a part of that, then that's when you know the friendship isn't worth it. It can be for whatever reason, like maybe you don't see them in your life because you got into a huge fight. Maybe you just drifted apart. Maybe something unforgivable happened. Like whatever the reason is, I think at the end of the day, not being able to envision or picture them in your future is kind of the like umbrella of all of the other reasons, because obviously I don't know the context of your friendships, I don't know the issues or the situations, but at the end of the day, it all goes back to, can you see them in your life in the future or not? So hopefully that answers your question. I feel like this changes quite a bit from person to person. What's on the top of your bucket list? I want to do a cross-country road trip. I think that'd be really fun, and that's been on the top of my bucket list for years and years and years. It's just something that I really want to do. How do you think you've grown from your first initial video and style on YouTube? I think I have grown a lot, for sure, and I've just grown more into myself and who I am. I'm definitely way more confident and way more comfortable with me. And I think that just comes from constantly uploading, getting your support, and hearing your feedback. It's crazy because I had a shoot the other day, and going into that shoot just felt so different from the first shoot I ever went to. I just felt way more confident in my abilities. Of course, I was still nervous, but it just felt like a different kind of nervous. I wasn't so insecure about showing my bare face on camera. I wasn't so insecure about my features, because being on YouTube and being in this diverse space has really taught me to appreciate my features and who I am and what makes me different. And I think that's kind of what I've learned and how I've grown over the years. In terms of style, I feel like it's still more or less along the same, but just more matured and grown now. Okay, so I don't know how long this video has been yet. It feels quite long already, but I'm gonna try to answer some quick questions. How many piercings do you have? I have 12 piercings. I took 2 of my piercings off because they were really bugging me in my sleep, but I have 12 piercings, which is a lot. I recently have been thinking about getting nipple piercings, but I heard that hurts quite a bit. so I'm scared. But if you guys have any thoughts or advice on nipple piercings, please leave them down below because I'm very curious and I really want to do it, but I'm also just really scared. And like, is it even worth it? Have you thought about going vegan? Yes, I have thought about it before. I went vegan for a week. I tried it. It was really freaking hard, and that's when I realized like I'm not ready to go vegan just yet because I don't know anything about veganism. I don't know anything about the nutrients that I need. I'm just not prepared to do that. Any future plans or trips you want to go on? I don't have any big trips planned for the rest of the year, but I do want to go back to the Bay Area sometime soon because I haven't been back since February, which is not really normal for me. I usually go back once every like 1.5 to 2 months, and so yeah, I just really want to go back and see like my best friend, see my family, mostly my best friend. Just kidding. My mom always jokes about that. She's like, you're not coming home to see family, you're coming home to see your friends. And I'm like, I mean, it's both. I mean, my friends drive me a little less crazy, but it's both. Okay, that is the last question I'm going to answer. I feel like I've answered quite a lot of questions. It feels like I've been sitting here for a really hot, long minute, because it's also really hot. So I'm gonna end it here. Thank you so much to everyone who submitted questions, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!